Hello students. In last video I discussed about industries and its types. Now in this video I will discuss about commerce. So what is commerce? Commerce is concerned with exchange of goods or services. That means buying, selling and distribution of commodities. So commerce is concerned with the exchange of goods with all that is involved in buying, selling of goods at any stage in their progress from raw materials to finished goods in the consumer's hands. And it does not only cover functions of buying, selling, and handling, but many services which provide facilities for the business to carry on, like finance, insurance, storage, and transportation of goods in the course of their exchanges. Production in itself has no meaning if the goods are not transferred with best of facilities to the hands of consumer. So commerce provides all those facilities which enables a producer to transfer the goods in the hands of consumer without any problem. So let's see its importance. So according to James Stephenson, commerce embraces all those activities which help to break the barriers between producers and consumers. All those processes are involved in it, which removes hindrances of trade related to person, place, time, and exchanges. So one by one we will see the points. First is hindrance of person. So commerce removes all the hindrances which are related to person. Like producer is producing somewhere and consumers are spread all over a geographical area. So there is a hindrance because producer has to transfer the goods to the consumers to realize the investment made by him, and they have to be informed about also, the consumers have to be informed about the products and their values. So commerce removes these hindrances. So basically distributors, traders, producers do not directly send goods to the consumers, so there are many intermediaries between them, like wholesaler, retailer, distributors, agents. So all these removes the hindrance of persons. So producer is producing somewhere and these people are involved in distributing those goods to the needed persons. So that is hindrances of person. Second is hindrances of place. Producer generally produce at a centralized location called factory, or services may be produced in offices, but those are to be distributed to the consumers, and that is hindrance of place. So that is removed by a facility called transportation. That means goods are produced centrally and it is distributed to all the consumers with the help of transportation. Transportation also provides this facility without causing any damage, pilferage, leakage, theft to the consumers. So transportation has many modes, air transport, land transport, or sea routes. So all these are involved in removing hindrance of places. Then comes hindrance of time. That means goods are produced at some time, at a time, and it has to be distributed to the consumers over a period of time. So for removing this hindrance, the goods have to be stored at a safe place without causing any theft, pilferage, leakage, damages to the goods. So this hindrance is removed by warehousing. Sometimes the goods have to be stored in specific conditions, like potato, onions, all these have to be stored in cold atmosphere. So cold warehouses or cold storage comes into play in this case. So warehouse removes hindrance of time. Hindrance of risk. Business involves risk, and where there is movement of commodities, movement of goods, then the risk is always involved, like theft, fire, pilferage, leakage. So many type of risks are there, which are related to environment as well as related to humans. So this hindrance is removed by the insurance companies, which provide cover of risk to the businessman in exchange of some premium. So this hindrance is removed by insurance companies. Then comes hindrance of finance. Every business needs capital, and sometimes that capital is not enough with the owner or the proprietor or the partners or the shareholders. So at that time, finance is needed, and that finance is provided by different financial institutions or banks. So this kind of hindrance is removed by banks and other credit providing institutions. So bank provide these kind of facilities in terms of short-term loans, long-term loans, overdrafts, letter of credit, cash credit, discounting of bills, etc. Then comes hindrance of knowledge. Producer produces the goods, but it has to be communicated to the consumers, because when the consumers will come to know about the product, then only they will buy it. So this hindrance is removed by advertising companies, advertising agencies. So advertisement basically removes this hindrance. Advertising communicates the products or the commodity services to the consumers, and the consumer becomes aware about the commodity or service. Then it plans to consume it. Then let's see the next topic, which is types or branches of commerce. So basically, commerce has two branches: trade and aids to trade. So trade involves, trade means exchange of goods or services. That means trade means buying and selling of goods. So everyone is not involved in only producing the goods, but some are involved in exchanging the goods. That means they buy the goods from somewhere, from producers, and sell it to the consumers or the intermediaries. So wholesaler, distributors, agents, retailers, all are involved in trade because they buy goods from somewhere and sell it to the consumers. So trade is basically two types: domestic trade or foreign trade. So domestic trade means that trade which is confined in geographical boundaries of one country. Both the buyer and seller belong to the same country. It is also known as home trade or internal trade, and payment in this type of trade are made in the domestic currency. So this is basically divided into two categories: wholesaler, wholesale trade, and retail trade. Wholesale trade refers to buying of goods in bulk from manufacturers and selling them in large quantities to retailers and industrial users in relatively small quantities. So wholesaler basically buys the goods from producers or persons related to producers, and they provide in large quantities to others, not to the final consumers. Then comes retail trade. Retail trade means buying the goods in bulk and selling them in small quantities to the final consumers. So they serve as a link between wholesalers and final consumers. So retail means basically that goods may be bought in large amount or small amount, but that must be sold to the final consumers who are going to destroy the commodity by using it. So final consumers are those who use the product, who destroy the product by using it, and they do not sell to anyone else. So retailer basically provides goods to final consumers. Then comes foreign trade. Foreign trade means when buyer and seller are from different countries, there is always foreign currency involved in it because the payment are made in different kind of currencies. They have to be converted into the domestic currency. So this is of three kind: import, export, and entry port trade. Now, what is import? Import means purchasing goods and services from other countries. For example, India imports petroleum products from Iran, Iraq, and other countries. Sometimes other services are also bought, like USA buys our information technology services. So that is import for the USA, and as we buy petroleum products from Arab countries, so we are importers of petroleum products. Then comes export trade. Export trades means selling goods and services to other countries. Like India exports tea to USA and UK. So basically, consumers who are based in consumers or businessmen based in USA and UK buy tea from us. Then comes entry port trade. That means importing goods from one or more countries with the purpose of exporting them to some other country or countries. For example, India may export some of the oil imported from Iraq to Bangladesh. That means when petroleum product is bought by India, and after some refinement or so, we sell that to other country. So that is called entry port trade. Then comes aids to trade. Commerce was divided into two parts: trade and aids to trade. After trade, we will see aids to trade. So aids to trade are those activities which provide the facility for trade to continue. Like already I discussed, different hindrances which are there in smooth movement of goods. So aids to trade provide facilities to trade to continue smoothly. So first one is transportation. So transportation is related to conveyance of goods or services from the producer to the consumer. It removes hindrance of places. For example, food grains are produced all over country and it has to be distributed to all over country. But grains are produced in villages, in fields, and that has to be supplied to urban areas as well. So transportation provides that facility. Tea is produced in Assam and Darjeeling, but they are supplied to all over country. So transportation removes hindrance of place. Then comes warehousing. Warehousing provides the facility of storage of goods. That means it removes hindrance of time. Many seasonal products are produced in particular season, but they have to be able throughout the year. So at that time, it needs to be stored safely, protecting from sunlight, rainfall, pilferage, theft, etc. So warehouse provide that facility. Warehouses are of many types. Private warehouses are owned by merchants and producers. Public warehouses are owned by port trusts, that means institutions of government, and bonded warehouses are set up by customs authority to store goods which are liable to custom duty. That means they are kept there for some time, and then when custom duty is paid, then that goods is released. Then comes banking. So it removes the hindrance related to finance. Banks also facilitate finance to continue the activities of business, because at some time investment is made and the realization of investment takes some time. Between that period, if finance is needed, then that is provided by banking, and also it can store your cash. Then comes insurance. Insurance removes hindrance related to risk. So risk is in always involved in the case of business. So that is removed by insurance companies in exchange of some insurance premium. So there are many kinds of insurance: fire insurance for fire, marine insurance, which is related to when the goods are transported through the sea route, then there is every possibility of submerging merging that ships. So in that time, at that time, marine insurance covers that risk. One workman's compensation insurance, life insurance, all those provide risk coverage on life. Then comes advertising. It removes the hindrance of knowledge. Producers produce a good, and that has to be communicated to the consumers so that they can become aware of the goods and they can buy the goods. So advertising main purpose is to create and sustain demand. The demand should be created and it has to be sustained also. Advertising has many forms, like printed advertisement, that is that you can see in newspapers or magazines. Outdoor displays in form of hoardings, billboards. Radio, that means audio advertisement. Television has audio visual advertisement in which we can hear sound also and see the moving pictures also. Letters to customers, personal letters to the customers. Fairs, exhibitions, through cinema halls also. So there are many forms of advertising. Then comes packaging. Packaging means designing and producing suitable packages for different products. Packing means putting goods in wrappers, containers. Packing helps to protect the goods from damage during transport and warehousing, whereas it also makes the good attractive and it also carries the name of the brand. So it has two purposes: making the goods safe from the leakage, pilferage, or damages, whereas it also conveys a message of the producer to the consumers. Thanks.